Okay, we're going to continue with our transformations by doing our next two types. We have rotations and dilations. So rotation is exactly what it sounds like. That's a very skinny highlighter. A rotation is like when you spin something around. I think I'm going to need to thicken this up a little bit. All right, so we're going to learn how to rotate three different ways. 90 degrees clockwise, 90 degrees counterclockwise, and a full 180 degrees. You can see that different things happen to the X and the Y of your ordered pairs of each of the points in your shape, depending on which way you're rotating it. So maybe it's good to know that clockwise is this way. Not sure if everybody knows that, but let's put that down there. This way, going the opposite way a clock goes, is counterclockwise. Trying to hold the dog back with one hand and write with the other because she really wants to breathe right into the iPad heavily. Okay, so there's three examples you can see for rotations because there's three ways that we can rotate it. Let's start with, I think I need to make this bigger. Let's start with rotating 180 degrees. So that's like a full all the way around. You hear people say you do a 180. That's like going the opposite direction. So that's why we're doing the opposite of the X and Y parts of the ordered pair. Let's start by labeling the points. We have X right here, which is the point -1 and I think 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So -1, 5. And then we have Y, which looks like 5, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2. And then we have Z, which is 3, 1. And it's telling us for rotating 180 degrees, we're doing the opposite of X and the opposite of Y. So we're doing like the opposite of -1 and the opposite of 5. The opposite of 5, the opposite of 2. The opposite of 3, the opposite of 1. So this is the first time where we're doing the opposite of something and it's already a negative. So make sure you know that that means we're making it positive. Everything else, just change those positive numbers to negatives because we're doing the opposite, and then we're going to draw it. So we have the point 1 and then -5. And then we have -5, -2. And finally we have 1, 2, 3. There we go. So then we're going to draw our new shape by connecting those points. And here we go. So we took this triangle and we rotated it 180 degrees, which is like we flipped it over half a circle. And that's our new shape. All right, now we're going to do 90-degree rotations. First, we're going to do clockwise, and then we're going to do counterclockwise. So I don't have to take the time to write out the new points. Well, I'm going to write them down, but I already have them because it's the same shape from the first drawing. So we have -1, 5, 5, 2, and 3, 1. When we rotate 90 degrees clockwise, we are doing, look at that. We are switching places where the Y is. The Y is now going to become our first number in our ordered pair. The X is going to become the second number, and we're doing the opposite of it. So let's see what that looks like. We're going to take the Y, which was 5, and put it in front. We're going to take the -1, which was first, and put it in second, and we're going to do the opposite of it. So we're moving the Y to the front, opposite of X. Y to the front, opposite of X. So that makes the point 5 +1 because the opposite of -1 is +1. Everything else looks pretty good here. And I'm going to graph my new shape. It is 5, 1. And then, oops, 2, -5. And 1, -3. I'm going to draw that shape by connecting my points, and you can see that this is doing a clockwise rotation 90 degrees. Lastly, let's do our 90-degree, counterclockwise rotation. we're going to fill in our points. It's the same picture we started with in the last two, so I don't have to do too much thinking here. I'm just going to copy those 3 ordered pairs down. And then when I'm doing a counterclockwise 90 degrees, I'm putting the Y in front and taking the opposite and moving the X part to the second spot in my ordered pair. So I'm going to move my Y to the front and do my opposite of X in the back. No, I did that wrong, didn't I? Let's try that again. We're going to move the Y to the front and do the opposite of it. Keep the X the same, but put it in the back. There we go. Move the Y to the front, do the opposite, put the X in the back. Move the Y to the front, do the opposite, put the X in the back. Let me graph those new points. I have -5, -1, -2, +5, -2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we have -1, +3. And connect them. And this is like doing a 90-degree rotation counterclockwise. All right, that's rotations. The last one we're going to learn about is dilations. Dilations mean that you are going to like shrink your shape or enlarge it, I guess we'll say. All right, so by a scale factor of A. So if we're making it 2 times bigger, we're going to multiply X by 2 and Y by 2. If we're making it half as big, we're going to multiply X times a half and Y times a half. So that one's kind of an easy one to remember, I think. So let's look at this trapezoid right here, or it's not even a trapezoid, it's just a quadrilateral. And let's record the original points to start us off. So L is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 3, 9. And then we have M, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 and whoops, 9. Oh goodness. 9 and 6. And then N is 9 and 3. Move this up for me. Oh, that's so much easier. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 0. All right, and the directions say to dilate it with a factor of 1/3. So we're making it 1/3 as big, which means I'm going to do 1/3 A and 1/3 B. So I'm going to do 1/3 times 3 and 1/3 times 9. I'm going to do 1/3 times 9, 1/3 times 6. Look how lucky I am. Hopefully you're always this lucky that the numbers that make up our ordered pairs are all multiples of 3. Because otherwise it would be a lot harder, wouldn't it? So 1/3 of 3 is 1 and 1/3 of 9 is 3. That's my new point. 1/3 of 9 is 3, 1/3 of 6 is 2. 1/3 of 9 is 3, 1/3 of 3 is 1. 1/3 of 6 is 2, 1/3 of 0 is 0. Those are my new points. Let me graph my new quadrilateral in a different color. I have 1, 3. I have 3, 2. I have 3, 1. And I have 2, 0. This little quadrilateral that I have drawn is 1/3 the size of the original. Ta-da! All right, let's over here write our points for this triangle. We have the point 3, 1. We have the point 5, 1. And it doesn't matter what order you put the points in if I haven't already said that. And then we have 5, 5. So the directions for the second one say, I'm going to do a dilation. Whoops, I thought that was my highlighter. A dilation with a factor of 2. So I'm going to multiply. No, I don't want that color. I'm going to multiply the X by 2 and the Y by 2. So I'm going to do 2 times 3 and 2 times 1. I'm going to do 2 times 5 and 2 times 1. And 2 times 5 and 2 times 5. So my new points are 6 and 2, 10 and 2, 10 and 10. Let's draw it. 6 and 2 would be here. 10 and 2 here. And 10 and 10 would be here. And when I connect these, I should get a triangle that's twice as big as the original because my scale factor was 2. All right, guys, thanks for watching.